Hello, YouTubers. Welcome to ET Songgalaxy. I'm doing this video because some guy in Italy named Tony, um, well, he exchanged some messages with me for a while. So we lost contact. But anyway, I wasn't gonna do this, but then he brought me an idea that maybe I should do this. This is concerning a person named Robert Baker, and he was the uh, one of the top students of Bruce Lee, and it's across the street that uh, he he had a garage, and that's where he worked out. So this was in Rochelle Avenue in Hayward, California, off of Tennyson, and I wanted to do some history of him and my acquaintance with him. So, uh, anyway, I met him in the early 70s, and at that time he was young, and I was very young. So, I wanted to give a little background on his history, and he did tell me he trained with Bruce Lee for about 5 years, and I got a tip to visit his house, and so that's how I was able to meet him. Some local guy was able to introduce me where he lived. So anyway, it was in the early 60s where Jimmy Lee, he sent me a book, and this is one of the books that he sent me. And at that time I was living on the other side of Tennyson, but anyway, this was one of the books that Jimmy Lee sent me, and I'm sure it was the first book that Bruce Lee did. And I actually got to meet Jimmy also. I have his hold on a second, I might have to pause. Hold on a second. This is actually the original card that he gave me introducing his, how do you say, workout with Bruce Lee. And so this is one of his official cards that he gave me when I went to his house in Oakland. Here we see, also his handwriting. So you can see it here. Actually, it is his handwriting. He wrote in the back, and he was introducing me some. They had some publications in Hawaii, so that's that. Now, one of the strangest things that Baker told me was that Bruce was not really accepted into the American military because he had a bad eye. And I can't believe that, but that's true. And during the time that he died, he told me that he believed that Bruce overworked himself, and that's one of the reasons why he died, I guess. And he had a bad back. So anyway, he was a phenomena, and he worked out too much. That's what Bob Baker told me. And Baker also told me that he would meet movie stars when he would go train in Los Angeles to meet Bruce Lee during his workout sessions. But he met Bruce through Jimmy Lee. And one of the things that Baker had in his garage when he showed me, he had, like, I drew a drawing, and as you can see there on the bottom, the drawing shows like a coiled spring in the back and the lower area, the bottom. So it's something like an old Japanese style, but Not really, because it had like a give, like a when you kick it, it would have that spring action. So as you can see, I'm not a good drawer, but that's what he had in his garage. One of the things, and he had different kinds of bags, some kind of regular boxing bags. And he hung around with a boxer named Jerry Bernardi. And Jerry Bernardi was one of the local heroes at that time. And he explained to me that that Jerry Bernardi had very good hand technique. And it was an interesting experience to talk to Robert Baker. Actually, he's in the video, The Chinese Connection. He played as the Russian guy with the curly hair and the suspenders. So that was him, and across the street, I'm gonna point out his house. And like I said, it's off of Rochelle Avenue. I met his wife. I met his son and his daughter. I forgot their names, but my wife was able to meet him also, and he liked my wife. And I went to his house about 3 or 4 times, and he did some demonstrations, and definitely his kicking technique and his hand techniques were really good. It really did not look like karate. It looked like really street fighting. That's the way I saw it. But his kicks were very, very well. He had good punching power, and so definitely he trained with Bruce Lee. And I met also David Koch's tournament, and I believe I also met him somewhere else. He had a Chinese girlfriend, but somebody said that he married a Thailand girlfriend later on. But I had a chance to meet Ed Parker, Joe Louis, the champion, and Joe Louis beat Bong Yu. He outpointed Bong Yu in the Hayward tournament in the university auditorium. But getting back to Bob Baker, he also mentioned that he believed that tournament fighters were not really impressive to him, and neither did Bruce. To my understanding, Bruce was unorthodox because he would not follow traditional styles. Well, anyway, I probably have to make this more shorter because there's feedback, too much feedback, and it's not a quiet area. What else can I say about Bob Baker? He was a very quiet guy. In other words, he would listen to me talk and ask questions, and then out of nowhere, he would just come out and burst out and say things. But he was kind of tall, and he actually invited me to eat with him in the kitchen, and we talked more. So there's a lot of things that I can't remember at the moment, but basically I generalized things in this video to let you know my acquaintance with him. Someone told me he died in 1994 or something like that, and I was surprised. But I would have to say that Bob Baker trained enough long years with Jimmy Lee and enough long years with Bruce, and there's a good reason why. He starred in the movie. He starred in the movie with Bruce in The Chinese Connection, so you can see him there. I was gonna put up the DVD and show you, but I accidentally packed it in the wrong box, so I misplaced it. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this history related to Bruce Lee, and definitely Bob Baker was a top student